Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Civilization 6 Gathering Storm for what might honestly be the final episode of the series, because I think there's a real good chance we're going to be able to wrap things up. If we're not able to, it will only be because the Ottoman capital is behind such a dense layer of Ottoman cities that we conquer a whole bunch of stuff this turn and it's just not enough. And I guess we'll see if that happens. My number one concern right now is Buenos Aires. If we were able to become the suzerain of Buenos Aires, it would help us a lot. Currently, I have no envoys with them, and we are actively at war with them. We could move Amani out of Yerevan, but if we do that, we risk losing control of Yerevan, which of course would be bad because we have their army levied, and they have a catapult, and we'd actually like to get to use this. I mean, obviously, we must first upgrade it to, like, a grown-up unit, but after that, we would like to use it. So, I don't know that moving Amani over to Buenos Aires is really a good option, but it's also not great for us to be over here. I mean, they really are just, like, right in the way, aren't they? I guess if we move all of Yerevan's troops, all of the troops that are down here, up to Rio, and then push south from there, then we can just sort of route around them. I don't know that it's going to take that many units to take Rio. Let's see, we're 2 turns away from earning another 2 envoys. I wish this was a little clearer. Like, I wish we could mouse over this and see, like, how many envoys do I actually have here? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm pretty sure we figured this out already, but I haven't played the game in like 4 or 5 days, and I've already forgotten whether Amani is doubling the envoys that she provides. So basically, do we have 5 envoys here doubled to 10 plus Amani's 2? Or do we have 4 envoys here plus Amani's 2 doubled to 12? Do I need to put in 3 envoys to maintain control of it? Or would 2 do the job? Because we only have 2 currently. I guess the answer is, let's wait 2 turns before we worry about it, and then we'll have enough envoys to deal with it either way. We also have this thing here that, due to recent world events, I have concerns to bring to the World Congress's attention, but clicking on it does nothing. It is a lie. The notifications in this game are kind of broken, especially on a turn when you load back into a game. I had a whole lot of notifications there that were clearly from 10 or 15 turns ago that we 100% for sure had dismissed. Yeah, so I guess nothing else to do right now. We have 1,300 faith and absolutely nothing to do with it. James Young is not very valuable to us. We can already see oil. We already have the oil tech. We could pick up a Great Admiral, but I don't want a Great Admiral. That doesn't help us. Renaissance and Industrial Era land units. Well, we have quite a few of those, quite a few Industrial Era land units. What we really want is a Modern Era Great General, because in a couple of turns here, we're going to be able to revolutionize our military once again. We're already using a bunch of artillery. We will not have cavalry units for this era just yet. I'm wondering if maybe we want to go ahead and patronage this great general that I don't have a lot of value, that I don't value very highly, just for the purpose of getting the next one to show up in the hopes that it will be a more modern one. Because we really don't have any other use for this faith. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we brought Gustavus Adolphus. Where did I Gustavus? Where did that happen? Did it happen in our capital? Where even is my capital? Here we go. Okay, so obviously we'll use the teleport to another city option to put him somewhere more reasonable, and then probably just expend him to create a bombard. So you know how I feel about those. Okay, a warrior that we levied from somebody was killed horribly. They have lots and lots of units all over the place, what with half of the world being at war with me and everything. But all of their units are horribly incompetent. It's really just, like, irresponsible for them to have sent these particular units into this war. Alright, so we knew Tadeni was going to flip. I'm not too worried about it. Let's take Niani, and then we'll take Taudeni back. And like I said, once we have these 3 cities, I feel like we'll be able to generate enough loyalty pressure that we should be able to hold on to them. If it's not the case, we can go grab Kumbisala as well. Alright. So, I would love to get a proper surround on this city. Means we need to move a unit into this space. It's not under siege. Oh, they must have the general here, governor. They must have Victor here with the defense logistics ability then, because we definitely have a unit or a zone of control in every space around the city. Alright, well, it's still valuable for me to be over here. I still get to blow up, for some reason, an Ottoman catapult. Hard to imagine why that was there. And the wall damage is total, because we are way over the combat strength of their stuff here. You maybe should just stay put for a moment. It looks like attacking is maybe a really bad plan for you. And here, probably what we want to do is actually fall back a little bit. And just try to soften up Taudeni's military. Because we certainly don't want to get shot by the city and attacked by both of those muskets. Oh, right, you have an extra attack. Alright, well, that city is certainly going down. We have a lot of really well-upgraded units. So, Ananzinga is providing... Okay, is providing boosts to our industrial area units, so just everything except the artillery. That's fine. That's totally fine. You're right where you need to be. Okay, here we have a ridiculously powerful battleship. We definitely want to keep moving toward the front. I have 3 attack range. But I only have 2 vision range. So I want to be moving forward, but I also want to be shooting at people, because obviously there's a lot of XP to be earned. So at this point in the game, could we possibly lose? No. I mean, like, to be perfectly honest with you, no. The answer is no. Against a more competent opponent, we perhaps would have to pay attention to whether or not somebody was, like, really aggressively converting our civ, because at some point our civ, like, there's going to be very few civilizations remaining, and if we were getting converted aggressively enough, that could be an issue. You can see that, like, Buddhism has spread pretty deep into our empire, and so the player who owns the Buddhism religion could attempt to sneak a religious victory. Which player is that? That player is the Khmer. Okay, well, that's actually not even really a problem, because we can very, very easily remove the Khmer from the game, and in fact, they will be removed from the game automatically in 18 turns. Let's pop you over to here. We already have a great general in this area. Alright, what about this front? So you can see Brazil has not really prepared themselves for war. They're way behind on city strength. They're running around with, like, archers and stuff. I would love it if we could get a little bit of siege on this city, but killing off their units is pretty important as well. Despite being heavily outnumbered, our musketman has won the day. That was a corps of archers. So, you know, very impressive unit. Hold on, don't... The automatically pick my next idle unit button it makes the most arbitrary decisions about which unit counts as next. Make sure that we're moving in here and getting our attacks on. Sorry, can you not do that? No, you can totally do that. And I know that this unit's injured, but I'm just going to roll forward. We're going to heal up by leveling up. May as well do this, because the city strength is so low that it's not going to do any damage to our unit anyway. Alright, so that's a capture next turn, but it's not something we'll be able to hold. And we don't actually care about it. I'm capturing it mostly because I don't necessarily want to be walking past a space where Brazil could be purchasing units in the middle of our push, but obviously we're pretty much just headed to Rio. So do we want to walk around and... Maybe I do want to take this city. We could trivially redeclare the war, right? We don't care about all the grievances that would create. But no, I think let's try to keep our army somewhat together here. it would be cool for us to take this city. It will become Brazil's in 8 turns. Oh, I mean, sorry, we have to spend a little bit of time here revolutionizing. This army that we've been handed is, it turns out, not all that good. By the way, I saw the Firaxis released a video talking about changes for the next patch, and one of the changes is that they are making this ability to upgrade levied city-state units cost something. It will now no longer be free, but instead be like 20% of the normal cost. Not only do I think that's a reasonable change, I think that probably doesn't go far enough, because man oh man, is this ability way too powerful. Like, really way too powerful. Alright, I think what I'm going to do with this Black Army unit, or this is a cuirassier, maybe. I don't actually know if that's intended to use the French pronunciation, but since this city is so easy to take hold of, I think we will just go ahead and take hold of it. And then, I mean, like, a lot of the stuff in the internals of our empire just doesn't matter at all anymore. Hey, that has some good numbers. Because we've sort of won the game from an economic standpoint, and that happened quite a while ago. At this point, it's just a matter of finishing it. And that is going to be done with the military we already own, plus the military that we are borrowing from other players. So in part, I'm just like, I'm building things that will take a long time to build because I want my cities to be doing something useful, but not asking me questions all the time. And I don't trust the auto-governor. There is an AI that you can use to manage your cities for you. A very simple AI. It sometimes does an okay job. It makes the same kinds of decisions as the player AIs do, though, so you can see why I might be reluctant to trust it. Oh, there's so much noise on the screen that I can't even see the combat. Alright, the Renaissance era ends in 10 turns. A city has reached 15 population for the first time in your civilization, not for the first time in the world, note. And we've acquired colonialism, which is, of course, a very good thing that never had any negative effects on anyone, right? I guess we could run colonial taxes is pretty good. We don't really need public works. So yeah, I think we are just going to go over here and try to grab this city. This city, like, if we can take this network of cities, maybe we can generate enough loyalty to hold on to them, which is not a huge goal. It's not, like, terribly important for us, but it would be convenient. I guess, can we... I do want to attack from the land, if I can. Attacking across a river, remember, always does lower your combat strength a little bit. Get over here. Hold on, we can roll up and fire at them, thanks to all of our bonus movement, and then just take the city with this attack. We could burn it, which would be funny, not useful. And only funny in a very sick, brain not well sort of way. Okay, we have a great scientist. He just gives us some boosts to techs. That's fine. That's fine. We like techs. We don't need them, but we like them. Sure. We've discovered new sources of oil, some of which are already being gathered. We may as well just head on over here now. Got the promotion that we were looking for. So I think we probably are not going to need upgrades against naval units or even against units in general because our troops are so much more powerful than other players' troops. So let's focus on our ability to destroy cities. Okay, so that's under control. One more Empire capital conquered. And you can see they're starting to run out of modern ships, and now they're just like sending all of the garbage that they had built earlier in the game that never got destroyed over here to try to slow us down. I expect this to be somewhat ineffective as a strategy. Alright, so that's the 2 units that they got for free. Probably, Haudeni will not produce any more units at any point here. Of course we keep the city. So we're already full loyalty in that city. Apparently, how is it that this city is threatening to rebel? It's not, is the answer to that question. That number is a lie. This, if you add these up, it's very positive. It is crummy that you so often can't trust the things that the UI is telling you in Civ. I assume that there's a good, like, technical reason that it does not make a lot of sense for all of the stuff to update in real time. Like, there's a good reason that most things only refresh at the beginning of the turn. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that reason is exactly. This is obviously a job for the artillery. Sure, you can be over here. Alright, and we have to decide, like, how much do I want to just have my troops run forward? We do have to take this city, but it's not going to take very many of us to do it. So you stand down here and just take your promotion. So we have quite a long time. Oh, only 15 turns, I guess. Alright, we can get rid of you. The city is threatening to fall to freedom, after which point it will be consumed by Brazil, and we might not be able to hold it, actually. You across here. So, like, the whole goal with this set of moves... Oh, you know what? Never mind. I was going to say the whole goal is to get this artillery piece in to take the big shot, but I guess that's not going to happen, is it? Because that is actually an artillery piece that I own. So it's not going to have the ability to move forward and fire in the same turn. It doesn't have the bonus move from being levied or from our great general, because it's the wrong type of great general, the wrong age. Alright, so Gustavus Adolphus just becomes a bombard with a promotion level. And we'll have to upgrade and promote this unit. We're doing extremely well on oil. So I think we can afford a pretty modern oil-based military here. And they really just don't have any defenses. It looks like Suleiman is a little bit better prepared. You can see even his smaller cities have reasonable combat strengths, whereas like Brazil was a bunch of 30s. But still, difficult to imagine them holding out against us for very long. This is sort of a problem in every 4X, and I don't know how you would solve it. But it is almost always the case that a time comes, and it is significantly before the end of the actual end of the game, when the outcome of the game is no longer in any doubt at all. I don't know how you would make it so that the, I don't know, some kind of internal AI is capable of recognizing that moment when it is possible to just... go, okay, we don't need to play out the rest of the string, I concede. I don't know if that's something that people in general would even want. On land here. Okay, so we are seeing a lot of Ottoman units. I'm tempted to take São Luís, even though we would not be able to hold it, just for the reason that we could then buy a unit or two in it and get this push really going. Yeah, let's do that. We could also just burn it down, I guess. Seems spiteful. Yeah, we definitely will not be able to hold this, but we will be able to buy a unit in there next turn. To pop our guy here for 2,000 science, which is a fair amount. We have the ability to create infantry now, which have a significantly higher combat strength than the musketmen. And we actually have a whole bunch of extra science banked. I guess the thing to do would be to pick up combustion. Tanks would be cool to have. A 4 movement unit with 80 strength is, like, very terrifying. And then we are, in fact, going to move Amani over to Buenos Aires, where we will hopefully be able to steal suzerainty. Oh, I'm at war with them. Right, I have to un-suzerain them from my enemy first. That's awkward. We can't really do that. Well, okay then. Never mind. We'll just not be able to levy their thing. Go ahead and repair the monument, because maybe we could actually use the loyalty. You guys, I don't know, build a monument? It really doesn't matter. What we tell that city to do, we will not own it for long enough. Okay, industrial and modern era land units. We want this next great general, and honestly, at the rate of faith accumulation we have now due to all of the stolen holy sites, we will probably be able to get him before too long. He will be very, very good for us. So we're not using any money right now because we're going to use the money to buy units in San Luis. So I guess we're good for the turn. Do I want to move... I probably want to move Victor somewhere, right? Do we want to try to hold this city, maybe? Where we want to move him to is Rio, I think. Rio's pretty central. It'll be a good place to stage attacks in every other direction. So I guess, yeah, let's not worry about it right now. We're going to move him to Rio when we take Rio. And probably we are accelerating the end of Meier by surrounding it with our stuff. Oh, maybe not. Then again, this tooltip might just not be updating. Oh no, a catastrophic eruption! It fertilized 4 tiles without damaging anything. That's... What does the word catastrophe mean? where the writer of that text is from? Because that's not generally how I think of it. Okay, so we have to be a little bit careful here, because we have the ability to upgrade a lot of units here, but we don't actually want to be upgrading all of them. We want to make sure that we have some ability to fight. Okay. So now we have pretty thorough control of the area around the city. It would be under siege if it was possible for it to be under siege. And I guess these units are good enough. Let's go ahead and upgrade any muskets that are left behind here to infantry. So infantry with a base combat strength of 70, plus all of our modifiers on top of that, are going to be very, very effective against a 55 combat strength city. Also, we have a lot of tiles that I would not describe as, like, great. But, boy oh boy, do they produce gold. We have so much gold income. Yeah, sure, tanks. Why not? Let's just really go nuts. Yeah, this is stupid. I should not be allowed to upgrade these units for absolute free. It's too much. It's too powerful. We're starting to get kind of low on... Like, we're approaching the point where we won't be able to trivially convert every unit we have. Or, we won't be able to run an infinite number of units, rather. Is this a flat tile? Can we fire over this? It is flat. It does have a rainforest on it. Oh, I guess this is a hill, though. Yeah, this is absolutely terrifying. Tanks have been the backbone of your army, so your scientists are striving for a more advanced model. Yes, that's true. They've been the backbone of our army for literally seconds. Yeah, just chill for a minute. We have the ability to make these guys into a core, but, like, why, right? There's very, very little reason to do that. And obviously we're headed towards shells. When we attack a city with an artillery unit. We want the city to just fall. We want the walls down immediately, right? We don't want to have to mess around with this. We want to be able to just take it. Yeah, there's a lot. The Ottomans had a ton of military units, but it's like they're shockingly out of date. Way more than I would have expected. In part because how do you even have a military of this size with all of the units in it being this old? Like he's put a lot of production toward military units, but he hasn't bothered to put any science into his military units, which is very strange to me. You guys can just ride out and kill dudes. Again, like the strategy of just healing by leveling up is pretty strong. We are going to take a hit from Kangaba this way, but it has 20 less combat strength than we do. It will not be meaningful. It is pretty soon going to be the case that these great generals that provide bonuses to industrial age but not modern age units are going to be completely worthless to us. So we will be pursuing some retirement abilities pretty soon. This is not my unit, so let's move it to the edge of our territory and make it a tank. Something tells me that these catapults and stuff are not going to do that well against our tanks. And a part of this is the AI being behind, but they're not that behind. It's 940 AD. We're way ahead. So part of the core problem I think that Civ has, and this has been true in every edition of Civ. We cannot buy a unit this turn. Our units are very expensive. But this has been true in every edition of Civ. Is that it's possible to advance so quickly that like the timeline that the game is on, I don't know why they put a real date, because there's no way you're ever going to stick to it. You're never going to be anywhere close to the progression that matches your progress to the date. This poor caravel has nothing else to do. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of coastal cities over here. We can scare off that great admiral, and I don't know where we teleported him to, but he is gone now. But at this point, this caravel's role in the war is over, which is a little sad. Alright, well, combined arms. I guess we have to see where the uranium is. I don't know that we will necessarily get to use any giant death robots, but I would like it to be possible that we could potentially use giant death robots. You know, that should be on the table. Make it as reasonable as possible. So we, oh. Barbarians. Oh no. Whatever shall we do? How long until Rotterdam flips? Okay, Rotterdam will see the error of its ways and become part of our empire in 4 turns. Now see, on this side, we have a lot more for a ship to do. I wish the caravel was over here. We can definitely shoot that city. Ships have bombard strength. Or at least some of them do. So they do better damage against walls than ground units do. Okay, problem solved. Get this back in here, and hopefully all of this will be enough to hold all of this together. Our Hussar is actually a little bit low on health, but he also has a promotion available. Just move out of city firing range and grab +1 movement. Seems fine. Once you have a ranged unit that has the 4th promotion, it really is just incredibly hard to deal with that. You very rarely get to see it from the AI because they're not good enough at keeping their units alive. But if you have ever been on the other side of this, perhaps because you were playing against another player or something, it really is it's really pretty terrifying. So I think this is what we'll do. We'll just build a farm here with this guy. Obviously, it's going to have to wait a second. Are we going to be able to take this city this turn? Probably not, right? Oh no, sorry, we do have an artillery right there. Yes, we absolutely will take the city this turn. Make sure we shoot at it with all of our ranged units so that we get our XP before we take it. Once a city is at 0, I think it's the case that you don't get any XP for shooting at it, and I guess we could test that at some point here. Alright, keep city. So we're going to lose this. Okay, 2 turns. We're actually already good on loyalty here. Hold on, let's see what the actual loyalty value is. Minus 5.6. So that's not too bad. That's pretty correctable. What about Rio? What's the actual loyalty value of Rio? Falling 0.5, so that's very fixable. Man. You should probably have a commercial district. We could repair our damaged ancient walls in this city, even though they don't do anything. Doesn't seem like a very strong play. And, like, we are still getting something out of building. It's probably worth the very small amount of time that I'm spending doing it. So the city is nowhere near its housing limit. Yeah, the farm, I think, is right. So now we are in control of all but one of the world capitals, right? Yeah, all I have to do is maintain control of these while getting to Suleiman's capital, which I can't imagine is going to be very difficult. I guess let's run you... Where do I want to go? I don't want to attack, because I do want to be able to take the promotion here. I guess we'll just run you down to here and grab your next promotion. I don't know, man. Come over here and build me a farm. Just build lots of farms. We're taking these workers not because we want to take the workers, but because we wanted to stand in the spaces the workers were standing in. So I don't have strong plans for any of them, because I don't care about any of them. What do? You create a relic when you're retired? And for right now, they're still affecting the artillery units, right? No, the artillery is modern. The only unit they're affecting is the field cannon. And we don't get an upgrade to the field cannon until the atomic era. So I guess we can keep the old generals around a little bit longer. We will have field cannons for a while here. Just create an escort formation, stick with this field cannon because it's the only unit that cares about you. And I suppose we can have these tanks go and murder those crossbows. Seems like an okay use of their time. Alright, so we don't actually care about Brasilia. We care about finding Suleiman's capital. But taking over 1 or 2 more of the cities down here might be helpful to us in terms of, like, staging. So maybe we want to take Jerusalem. Yeah, I don't really care about Brasilia. Okay. I suppose let's form up for an attack on Jerusalem. We'll take control of this, and then we'll use it to push south and continue gathering information. It's a little awkward that we have to go around Buenos Aires. It's a shame. We have 2 turns left on this. And I still can't buy it. The only thing I can buy is a unit that absolutely does not matter. Alright, we'll keep the caravel nearby, and I'll just retake it when it becomes free, I guess. This city will become a free city in 24 turns. Wow, 24 turns? We have so much loyalty pressure on it, though. Oh well, whatever. And when it becomes a free city, that will eliminate the Netherlands from the game. That is their last city. Rotterdam joins us in 4. None of it really matters. Okay, where are we at on this Great General? It's going to be a little while. They're going to buy, like, pikemen in Jerusalem. Not strong enough units to actually help. And this tank is not in a position to actually attack. Do I want peace with you? I'm unsure, so we'll come back. I'll make the peace offer. I probably want Kangaba. It's just in the path, right? A mitigated 1,000-year flood, just fertilizing our tiles. It turns out that turning up the disaster difficulty has almost no effect at all. Yeah, I don't care about any of this stuff. Sure, we'll take a great writer. Why not get more culture, right? So we need artillery, and we need them down here. Okay, I'll be able to fire out Jerusalem probably next turn. It will not take us long to get this city. Let me make some better decisions from there. What I'd really like to do is get one of the tanks over on the other side of the river, so we don't have to be attacking across. Yeah, like this. This'll do. So... yeah, unfortunately the cavalry upgrades are just not as meaningful as like the ranged unit upgrades are. Kinda doesn't matter what we take. Lots of wheat to farm up over here, lots of very important Goldilocks to write. And because she was so beautiful, they called her Princess Goldilocks. Huh. You know, I've never actually read the Goldilocks story. I don't even know if that is the Goldilocks story. It might not be. How? How did you survive? That is very silly. Completely absurd. Okay, so they have a caravel over here. Nothing that can actually shoot at us, though. Yep, I'm just going to roll up into attack range, and then... you know what? We don't actually need to take this promotion. Because we're not going to get anything terribly mean. I guess... no, never mind. I was going to say maybe we just save it, because the promotion itself is no longer valuable to us. We could just save it and use it as a heal. But I guess there is one or... there are one or two more upgrades that I would actually like. Take our promotion to infantry here. And yeah, you can see we we can get the walls of this city down pretty quickly. And then we can just sail down the coast. Like, I could knock out Cardiff pretty quickly. Cardiff is, of course, a city-state. And so removing them from Suleiman's control would give us an ally down there. I wouldn't take the city myself because there's no way we could hold it and it doesn't matter anyway. But we could definitely do something of value. You know, there's no reason for me to damage the tank. Then again, it's such a small amount of damage, it also doesn't matter. But, like, the artillery is definitely going to get the 40 combat strength walls down fast enough. We can ignore large parts of Suleiman's empire and large parts of Brazil, honestly. Oh, right, I was going to move Victor. Is Rio the most sensible place? Probably. Of the cities down here, it is the one where we need the loyalty boost the most. Not that we need it much anywhere. I almost wonder if we take this city just because it's, like, it's almost harder not to. Yeah, it's a very, very easy grab, and it's right in our path. Though, yeah, we're not going to be able to afford to buy a unit out of there in time for it to matter. Starting to think that his capital is going to turn out to be in the most annoying possible position, basically as far away from us as possible. Okay, so Oxford University was not available to keep building because of the fact that there was an enemy unit on the tile, but that's no longer true. There we go. Sure, build me Big Ben. We'll just build all of the world's wonders, while the rest of the world is too busy fending us off to build anything. throw a repair of the outer defenses in there, and then probably just build me, I don't know, start working on the world's slowest artillery. Someone has called for a special session of the World Congress. Gee, I wonder what that could be about. You have 4 movement, but like there's no nowhere productive for you to go. You could go here, and we can just pillage this farm next turn. At this point, with their units all being so much weaker than mine, it's actually almost beneficial for us for them to attack us, because they do a tiny, tiny amount of damage, but our units gain XP every time they're attacked. Oh no, I've captured Timbuktu! We must resist his aggression! The target units will have -2 combat strength when fighting units. Member units will get +1 movement in the target's territory. The target gains +20 loyalty per turn in Timbuktu. I may not vote in favor of this discussion. I want this to happen, right? I don't care about the -2 combat strength. We have such a huge benefit over everybody, but this doesn't matter at all. And it'll make Timbuktu guaranteed to stay mine. Yeah, I don't care about this. I must vote. I literally have to vote negative. Well, I'm certainly not spending any favor. Also, a crippling blizzard. That sucks. That's actually really bad. Granted, it's in a city that does not matter at all. Hey, no big surprise. The thing passed tremendously. Okay. What the hell is what city is Timbuktu? I don't even know what city they're mad about me taking. I've taken so many cities over recently. Is there a way for me to... Can we zoom to that? No? Okay. Oh, Timbuktu. Really? Hold on, the military emergency was about Timbuktu, which I conquered many, many, many turns ago, instead of... That's weird. Okay, well, whatever. Let's knock the walls out over here. Yeah, like, our units are actually gaining promotions more quickly than they would be if the enemy wasn't attacking us, and the enemy's attacks aren't actually doing them any good. Maybe units shouldn't get XP when attacked by... It is probably the case that units should not gain XP when attacked by other units that are considerably lower combat strength. See, like, this is a great example of what I'm talking about. Like, when you press these buttons, it does things that are very unintuitive. If I have my mouse centered over a city that currently has nothing in the queue, and I press the, hey, my cities need to queue production button, this is the city that thing should open. It shouldn't zoom across the world. Especially since it's just going to jump back over here in a moment anyway. Alright, well, I wasn't expecting this to be an issue. Maybe we gotta turn around and grab Kumbisala real quick just so that we can maintain loyalty here. Which is absolutely a thing we can do. Given that so much of what we're worried about is on the coast, we can have the battleship be our wall breaker. We could probably turn both of the artillery units around. I guess I probably don't actually need to, though, right? Probably an overcommitment. Let's turn around like one military, one land unit. Yeah, this guy. This guy'll do. This guy and this artillery unit are more than capable of grabbing that city. And I guess that's it for units over here. So Rio, we're totally going to hold on to. You to move to here so you can move to here and get a clear shot? No, you still can't. Alright. Apparently the artillery unit's going to have to be here to shoot at Jerusalem. But we can do some significant wall damage right now, at almost no cost. And given that we know we're going to take this city next turn no matter what, I am inclined to fire the field cannon in the other direction. Probably range strength against district defenses is a more relevant upgrade at this point in the game. It is very likely that we will never again see a unit that is an actual challenge to our to our ranged. I think we just gained control of a themed museum, which is why we got a boost to natural history. Do we want to try to hold it? Once we have Jerusalem, which we are definitely going to keep rather than liberating it as a city-state, we probably will have the loyalty necessary to hold on to this. And just having more territory, obviously, is valuable. You can pillage that farm and go back to pretty much full health. But we still don't see their capital. There's a city right here. There's an aqueduct. There's a city right there that we can't see. Could be either of those, but it also could be down there. Would you just convert already? Killing me. We have discovered a source of uranium. Are we gathering it? We are not gathering it. So, how many charges does this builder have left? 3? Okay. We'll build a farm there. No, you know what? This is the most important thing in your world. Okay, so we're still gaining. We're not gaining optimally anymore because I'm not spending the time to. But as long as we're still increasing in power, that's good enough for me. Even once Jerusalem is ours, it is still going to be a significant bottleneck, so probably we should be routing some of these units out around it. So where do I think... I guess... Let's have a look at this city. Okay. Wanted to make sure. Oh, that city doesn't have walls. Wow. Okay, well, my half-health tank will just conquer it then. How does he have a 38 combat strength city doesn't have any walls? And then because of steel, we immediately have defenses in it, which feels a little unfair. Once we have Jerusalem, that probably won't be too hard to hold on to. Alright, monument repair is a thing that we care about a little bit. Do we want to just move Victor over to here? Because now we have so many of the cities in this area, it's hard for me to imagine we're actually in danger of losing any of them. We're rising 6.1, and then remember, Victor's not providing his loyalty boost yet. Caesarea is definitely a little bit more relevant, but I wonder if... No, it's still not really close enough to where we're making war. Like, Brasilia is a better target for Victor, actually. And I know he's spending a lot of time in transit and not really providing us with a lot of benefit. But our army's just moving too fast for him to be helping all that much. Let's grab advanced ballistics so we can upgrade our ranged units to a new thing. Machine guns used to have a range of only 1, which made this particular upgrade pretty painful. But I see they have changed that. I mean, it's a lot of extra combat strength above the field cannon. So it was like at least an interesting trade-off, and sometimes you would hold on to the field cannons for longer than you might otherwise. I'm not actually sure if I think it's a good thing that they changed it. You can see they're doing like 9 and 10 damage per attack. Sure. Yeah, I mean, you are no kind of threat anymore. And I don't really need these works of art, and I do love gold. We have some kind of large storm system. Oh, yeah, it's just the movement of the blizzard. That's fine. This is a terrible great engineer, but I don't know when... Yeah. Culture bomb adjacent tiles when completing an industrial zone is just a horrible benefit. Almost completely useless. But I don't know when it will... How long it would take for one of the other empires to be able to actually get a great engineer so that we could take the next one instead. it's probably actually faster for us to take this one and then build up to the next one. You know what? Sure. Condemn this heretic. When you kill a religious unit with a military unit, it reduces that religion in all nearby cities. We're actually not that close to leveling up. This guy's just gonna be a problem. So do we want to take Sao Paulo? Do we want to just claim this whole area? I mean, our loyalty will be a lot more stable around here if we do that. And it's not a very strong city. Combat strength is quite low. This might be another situation where we don't necessarily need the city, but it's actually easier to take it than it is to not take it. Do to here and grab a promotion. Boy, I have no idea what to do with you. Go over here and also build farms. Just farms everywhere. Turns out, levied tanks with bonus movement speed really, really move. Okay, man, there is not a lot going on in here. So right now, our tank could probably just take this city. I'm going to move up right next to it and take a promotion real quick. Yeah, we could grab Izmir. We could just burn Izmir, I guess. And that means that Suleiman's capital, indeed, is way down here in the corner. But our units are so fast that that might not actually be that hard to get to. And the moment we take it, as long as we still own all of the other capitals when it happens, the moment we take it, we win. We don't have to, like, hold on to it for 10 turns or anything, I don't think. You know what? I'm not actually certain of that. But we're not really in danger of losing any of the capitals. We have a bunch of cities that might flip, but, like, once Sao Paulo no longer exists, there's no way Rio's in danger of flipping. So, yeah, we have the situation under control, I think. Just jump you back to here. I don't know what that guy is doing, but get rid of him. Do we have... Yes, we do have an artillery unit who is kind of nearby. Grab this, and this will let us unite the two halves of our force. Okay, so that city will fall completely trivially next turn. Alright, and there's that. So if we did liberate that city to Jerusalem, obviously there are some benefits to that in terms of getting a bunch of free envoys and having another city-state to work with, but even when a city-state is you are suzerain of a city-state, they are totally dedicated to your cause, you still can't move through the tile of their city center. So this would be completely impassable, which is why I did not do it that way. Do we want to take Konya? Like, I probably don't, right? I probably just want to get down here and start moving toward where the actual fighting is going to be. Caravel is much weaker than infantry, but land units embarked in transport ships are always bad at fighting. Yeah, build your workshop. Why not? So Kayseri is ours for a couple more turns at least. And we actually do have the money to purchase a modern-ish unit here. I think let's grab an artillery unit. Oh, we are actually... we have pushed it too far on the oil. So this is going to, when we run all the way out of oil next turn, we're going to find it impossible to heal our oil units. Except, I think, through promotion. I think promotion still works. But yeah, we take damage so slowly, it's just not going to matter. I think we'll also take a combat strength penalty. No. No, not yet. Sorry, we have to take Sao Paulo from you first. Absolutely not. Once we take Kumbisala, we can chill out with Mansa-Musa. He'll still be alive, technically. Oh no, a worker or something, probably, was lost to Buenos Aires. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I don't I don't care about that at all. Let's blow up that unit so that we don't have to spend our attack to move on to it, which means that we can keep moving. And it probably makes sense to capture some of this stuff, like over here, these cities that I was thinking about largely ignoring. We probably ought to just grab them for the sake of making it easier for our units to move around. Probably want to do it from as far south as I can, so I'm a threat to cities down here. And not that we need to fire on catapults, but I guess we can fire on these catapults. Oh. Sure. Rotterdam has finally joined us. Welcome to the team, Rotterdam. We do have more oil deposits that we could take advantage of, but it won't help. We're spending so much, we're never going to be able to get above replacement rate. So we probably... You know what? I think I'm just going to burn this city. If we take it, we're not going to be able to hold it. It's too far away from the rest of our cities, and it's just going to flip over to a free city, and then it's going to produce units and be a huge pain. Let's just be done with it already. 2 turns off of upgrades for our field cannons. This guy is a little behind the times. Probably make sure to actually fire all my cannons. Let's get those walls out of there. Okay, keep city. Now we can get peace with Brazil. We can let them keep their little area up here. That doesn't really hurt us at all. You're gonna give me everything, including all of your money and all of your gold per turn, and these dyes and this cocoa. And all of the seeds automatically go on the table, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we should have? Okay. I graciously accept. Pretty big change in demeanor there for him, really quickly. You know what, just build a bank. Never mind. I was gonna, queue up the appropriate repairs and stuff, but this doesn't matter that much. Alright, in Rotterdam... You know, commercial hubs are good. Hold on, I still have more cities that need build orders. And we now have enough envoys that we could move Amani, which I'm totally going to do. Oh right, I can't move. I keep doing that same thing. We need one more envoy before we can... Oh no, sorry, we can go to 6. And that will not make us the suzerain, but it will make no one the suzerain. And then now we can move Amani. And I think once we've chosen to move her there, she still will end up there in 5 turns, even if they become suzerain of it again. And once she arrives, obviously it will become ours. So, we have all these units over here, who I guess should just get in the water. It's going to be the fastest way for them to get where we're going. The overland route down to our target is very slow, even disregarding the fact that we don't actually know where the target is. Also, I apparently have to... Oh, I lost suzerainship of... let's see. I'm at 4. Okay, I don't... Whatever, it's fine. We have enough units to do what needs to be done. There's not a lot of resistance left. And I'm intentionally moving us into positions where we're going to get shot at here. Again, just to take advantage of the bonus XP for getting shot at. So that's going to rebel in 4 turns. That's not a big deal. I don't care about that. Alright, so even without the ability to siege that city up, that should not take very long to resolve. I can't believe that this city is still negative loyalty. Yes, there's a city right there. It must have a ton of population. Maybe we'll have to take that one too. We are only slightly negative there. Yeah, as you can see, they're just like burning a bunch of units. My infantry was destroyed by the Ottoman encampment. It took 23 damage from the city bombardment. That's higher than I was expecting. Okay, so that'll be the end of their walls. We have control of that next turn. We'll get 2 envoys next turn, which is enough to push us up to tied in Yerevan. Yeah. Okay, well. So do we want to take Cardiff, or do I want to just weaken Cardiff? Also, oh, I can't attack the city because I can't actually see it there. You can see Cardiff has a real combat strength. A number that is high enough that I actually have to care a little bit. Also, check out all these warrior monks. Alright, so we want to get people over to attack Edern. We need to establish a forward base of operations in Edern. Wondering about redirecting Amani back to Yerevan. I'm debating how much I care about Buenos Aires now. I was thinking I will just get both, but it would be nice to have both for all of the additional pressure that it puts out. We don't really need Yerevan, like the city itself. It's just the army that we care about now. If we swap Amani back, what we should do is let Amani establish here, levy Buenos Aires, which will be cheap, and then the envoys that we get from levying will put us in a position where when we move Amani back, we'll maintain suzerainship. You can see, like, even though we're desperately low on oil, we can keep our oil units in fine health through leveling up. And probably we still get health back from pillaging as well, I'd assume. Honestly, I have no idea what to do with you. Just build stuff. Just build farms everywhere. Inconvenient. They're actually blocking our forward movement a little bit. Well, yeah, how did our infantry take 23 damage from bombardment from a 44 combat strength city? That's not correct. That's not how that math should work out. Huh. Well, we'll be able to get the walls down relatively quickly. I'm just thinking, like, does this tank need to move due to the fact that this city does way more damage than it's supposed to? Suppose we could just move it up to here. I moved it right here. No, I do not have the ability to pillage that. Okay, so yeah, stay there for the moment. Probably this attack is worthwhile. Okay, so we still just have a ton of units running up from the backfield. Some of them much slower than I would like. Yeah, your own units feel really, really weak when you are used to all this levy nonsense. Is this a flat tile? It looks like a flat tile. No, it is a hill tile. That's definitely a hill. I figure out if we were going to use artillery against Cardiff, where would we have to put it? And I think the answer is to the south. So maybe let's run the units down to the south. We just gotta not go within 2 tiles of Cardiff itself. Plus, we may find that, like, this is the capital, and it's a better use of our time to just ignore Cardiff entirely. What is this caravel even... I just have no use for it. I'm gonna sit here in this, We'll pillage the hell out of these docks. That'll show them. I'm obviously very much not worried about emissions because we are, the game is going to end before global warming could possibly be an issue. Okay, so there's... Don't we have a worker over here somewhere? Did I use all of his charges? No, I did not. He needs to come down here and unpillage all of these farms. And probably build a mine over that uranium. Okay, so yeah, field cannon took 25 damage from that bombardment. Interesting. Yeah, the city is punching way above a 44 combat strength. Well, we certainly want to grab rolling barrage. Let's get you up on land. We still need to scout a little bit. Huh. Still no capital, huh? Alright, we suffered a minor issue here. Okay, so the actual loyalty number there is rising 12. Actual loyalty here is still falling 11.5. No, it's not. Sorry, this number is a lie. This indicator is a lie. These values are always correct, I think. So taking Kumbisala has solved that problem, so we can now go ahead and get peace from Mansa Musa, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. And also, I'm sure he'd be willing to, you know, make some donations to the cause. 81 gold per turn. That's pretty good. Give me all of this. Wow, the AI is really not okay with giving you all their favor. You know what? As a gesture of my magnanimity in victory, I will not demand all of your resources. So, actually, hold on. Let's do this, and then levy. And we can just turn Amani around now, right? We don't actually need her anymore. Yeah, I was totally thinking about, like, oh, we'll have to put the envoys in Yerevan. I got a little bit caught up in my plan and didn't see that we could just solve this way, which means I could have redirected her last turn. Okay, so now we have the terrible military of Buenos Aires, which is, you know, fine. We didn't do that for their military. Alright, so you should pillage... You should kill this guy and then pillage the farm next turn, and probably you will survive to do that, maybe? Let this field cannon walk back across here and become a machine gunner. Okay, well the good news is we have the city under siege at least. Won't be any recovering, but we also... I guess at a certain point in the game, whether or not a city's under siege starts mattering a lot less because you're not you're not really trying to wear down its health anyway. You're trying to wear down the walls. And once the walls are down, it sort of doesn't matter how much health the city has left. Move this injured guy away from the encampment. So actually, this city's getting pretty loyal then. Yeah, falling 4.5, so 17 turns is alive, but it's a while. We can purchase another unit here. It's probably just a machine gun, right? I am allowed to purchase oil units. They require very little oil to build, and it looks like we consume oil and then accumulate oil, which is definitely backwards from the way it should be. It's like if I'm consuming more oil than I'm producing every turn, I should not be allowed to build more units that cost oil, right? It's a little silly that I'm still able to get artillery. You know what I actually probably need more than anything is just like another tank. Just need another melee attacky, good strong ground unit. You probably need to either fall back and heal or go pillage a farm somewhere. I was planning to pillage this farm with this guy. Yeah, we'll have him come over here and potentially pillage that farm. And we don't care about the tiles anymore. There have been points in the game where I have not pillaged because I was like, well, we'll take this over and we'll want that to be in good shape when we do so. But here we're just sprinting toward wherever the capital of the Ottoman Empire might be. We don't really care about this stuff anymore. So our field cannon... This is a levied field cannon. So it is actually still meaningful, even against this unusually high combat strength city. And it has attached a great general who is actually giving it benefit. But yeah, man. If all their cities' combat strengths were in the 60s, just think of how much better they'd be doing. As it is, I think there's a significant chance Cardiff loses its walls this coming turn between the battleship and the artillery unit. The artillery unit is going to get shot from Halep, probably. Not ideal. I guess they have to pick, though. And if they don't shoot at my infantry, he can come scout over here. This has to be their capital, right? Okay, so we have advanced ballistics and combined arms, and then, like, at this point, death robots? Yeah, I don't know that we need any more small, incremental military upgrades. I think we can just go for the big one. And that probably we don't even need it. Oh, obviously not. Okay. Brussels has been taken from us, really. Boy, all of this stuff is stuff that I could click a button to look at. Stuff that doesn't need to be forced onto my screen. Which one is Brussels? Oh, I don't care about that. Wilhelmina overtook me? Okay. I don't know how that's possible, but also it doesn't matter. Alright, so just another great scientist who is going to give us some, Oh my god. Just don't pick up the phone when they call. I'm just getting tech boosts and stuff, a lot of stuff that doesn't matter. Extra amenities, but honestly, like, we don't really need amenities. I think our cities are mostly... Nope, never mind. I was going to say mostly pretty content. Turns out we have a number of cities that are displeased due to war weariness, and those extra amenities totally will help. Okay, good enough. Alright, let's get to pushing here. So... Yep, everything that we put around Edurn takes crazy damage, even though Edurn is not high enough combat strength to do that damage. I don't really understand where that's coming from. Like, Cardiff does less damage to our units than Edurn does. Alright, so you are going to pillage this farm. Yeah, how many units did I lose over here? Well, the artillery's almost in place. We can finally buy out Napoleon. And see, sometimes you get an era score bonus for using patronage, but not always. To make up more than half of their recruitment cost. It didn't say that the first time we did that, did it? I don't think so. But at this point, we have literally no units left that Joan of Arc is providing bonuses to, so we may as well just burn her for a relic. We don't need the relic either, but... go from providing literally zero benefit to a very small non-zero benefit. And I guess we already have a unit in encampment range, so it's not like we're letting them shoot any extra times by moving more units into encampment range. Anna Nzinga is actually providing a small benefit because we still do have one unit nearby who's buffed by her. Oh hey, we can build a thermal bath. Because you know what we need more of is era score. We are we are so far above the score necessary for a golden age. Alright, let's move you to here. Make you a machine gunner. What is my most modern... Okay, my most modern anti-cavalry unit is actually still very out of date. You back to friendly territory where you can heal. For some reason, there was a Buenos Aires unit down here, so we're going to have to move this thing back to a place where it's relevant. We don't have enough gold to buy out another real military unit, so I guess with that we are good. We have one envoy, which I don't think I really... Yeah, I don't think we really need to use. Okay. You are here to repair these farms. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an era score quite so far above the Golden Age threshold before. So Cardiff definitely loses its walls this turn. The world has entered the Industrial Era. I think we have a direct combat relevant dedication, don't we? Plus 15% production toward military units, and a grievance reduction that doesn't matter at all. Okay, I guess we're taking Heartbeat of Steam, which provides production from our campuses. None of this matters. You know what? Reform the coinage just so that we don't see our trade routes pillaged all the time, I guess. Again, none of this matters. Let's go ahead and throw some stuff in some queues. You know, stables are fun. Okay. So we have our new great general who needs to be teleported to a place where he can come and join the battle. You can just repeat route. Unfortunately, the units that we used to take Kumbisala probably will not be able to get back to the game in time for it to matter. You don't have the movement to attack this turn. Also, cannot attack this turn, but you can plunder a trade route despite not being able to attack, which is kind of weird. So this is a flat tile, as is that. Okay, so we will be able to fire from here. Edurn finally, for the first time, acting like it has 40 combat strength. Yeah, wild. I don't know what it was about that city that was making it deal so much damage, but at least it's resolved now. Do we have... Okay, we do have a land unit that is fast enough to actually take Cardiff. We are going to have to get it down pretty low. So if I attack with this artillery unit this turn, we are sacrificing the artillery unit, because Halep will destroy it. but if I don't attack with the artillery unit, we don't get Cardiff, and then we have to worry about the units that are in Cardiff. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay, I think we are actually just going to keep it. I know I was talking about liberating it, but hey, the situation has changed a little bit. Okay, so Anna and Zinga, I'm going to retire. We no longer have a use for you because we're going to upgrade that final field cannon. Alright, well this has to be it, right? This is like the only tile. Hey, you know what? Build a farm. This is the only city it could possibly still be, is this one right here. We're going to go around the lake or maybe through the lake, I don't know. But in this general direction. Artillery continues to very slowly trudge forward. If we repair the farm on the uranium... Okay, no, I don't think it is gathering. I think we have to build a proper mine. Ah, see, and this is what I was talking about. We can't move the unit through this tile, and there's a cliff here, so the only way for this guy to get around to the actual fight is, like, going through the water near Yerevan, which is going to take a lot of turns. Apparently I did some quests accidentally. Yerevan is ours again, so let's levy their military. We have, like, very permanent control of Yerevan at this point. And they actually have some pretty good military units that have remained in some pretty good places. It's a field cannon from Armagh. Really? What? I mean, I guess Armagh's been at war with our enemies. Sure, let's go ahead and levy their military so we can take that 5 promotion field cannon. That also is going to give us a bunch of units I don't care about, who we will mostly just put on sleep mode. No, I don't. I'm not even looking at that deal. Okay, we got a good promotion available. Yep, that artillery is sadly dead, but I think it did a lot of important work before it died. Our expression of mobilization will determine humanity's future. Boy, I don't know that truer words have ever been spoken. We got ourselves a governor title available. It actually can't matter. Congratulations on your surplus logistics. Alright, let's, there we go. Hey, look at that, we finally found it. So, I guess you're good pretty much right where you are. Come down here. The number one thing we need to do is get some artillery units in range of this city. Forward a little bit. Hold on, let's rush the Hussar out. That crossbowman, for some reason, is wearing a lab coat and goggles in the picture down in the bottom right. That's definitely not supposed to be that way. We can move down to here and put the city under siege. Go ahead and get me some uranium income, even though I don't think it can matter at this point. You are in sleep mode, sleep modes. These units over here just actually can't be part of the battle. They're too far away. There aren't enough turns left in this game for them to come and join us. I suppose we could start doing some damage here. Probably not with this unit because of the river. Make things a little bit awkward. Oh man, it's going to take Napoleon forever to come and join us. That's annoying. We're going to take some damage from this encampment as we run past, but it's probably not worth bending our route around it very much. Give it something else to shoot at that is at lower health in the hopes that it will not shoot my artillery. Plus combat strength defending against ranged attacks feels like it might be pretty relevant in this situation. You should fall back to friendly territory to become a machine gun with 5 upgrades, because that seems very good. kind of wild that the units from Arma are actually going to play a significant part in the the completion of this game. I suppose it's fitting, though. You actually cost gold to upgrade, and the battleship here can't really have much of an effect on the rest of the game. I guess. Oh, I can't quite shoot at Hullop. If somebody can get me vision of Hullop, we can shoot the walls down just to make it so that it's safe to be in that area. Remember, without the walls, it can't fire. Go here. Just sleep. Your job is done. Alright, it took us an embarrassingly long time to finally find the capital city, but we are on it. We have relevant, a relevant great general. We have good units. Hopefully this won't take too long. We got bombarded by an enemy encampment. Yeah. Mega colossal eruption. It doesn't actually say the name of the volcano anywhere on the screen. Doesn't it seem like it ought to? Yeah, I mean, I don't care about that. It seems like the, and this is probably just random number generation, like total luck. It seems like the natural disasters on the other continent were way worse than the ones on our continent. Well, we can just kill this boat, I suppose. Doesn't really provide us with a lot of utility, but we have the ability to do it, so let's do it. You can step up and really just strafe the hell out of these walls. Turns out walls, not a good solution to modern day type problems. I will say though, if your problems are mostly crossbow based, sure, build a wall. That it will help in that circumstance. Alright, we'll just pick away at this. Sadly, the artillery, even with the speed boost from Napoleon, just like running through these marshes totally sucks. You can't even do enough wall damage to that encampment to keep it from shooting at us. Alright, I do believe that's gonna be pretty much it. A lot of units who are desperate for orders. And whose orders sadly do not matter to our game at all. Unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, there's a hotkey that just ends the turn in Endless Legend, even if you have notifications. It just there's certain kinds of notifications you can't zoom past, but I really wish Civ had that. Because there's a lot of times where it's like, I have 700 unit notifications and 8 of my cities want to know what to build, and none of it can possibly matter, so just let me skip it all. There's Archer up here. He's going to show these guys who's boss. Okay, you just haven't even fulfilled your orders. You have orders, and you have chosen to ignore them. Recent news article revealed that the Ottomans are trading with Khmer. I can't believe J. Varman is still part of the game. Wasn't his last city falling in loyalty for all of forever? Our people take pride in the thermal bath, which reflects our values and priorities. Bathing. Bathing is our values and priorities. Where even is that? I'm not even on the right continent here. What is up with that one city that belongs to the Khmer? Okay. One turn. They will be out of the game next turn. Well, it looks like they survived, because the game is going to end, I believe, before they are eliminated. They didn't... How on earth were they using their cities to deal actual, 25 damage to artillery, but not have the combat strength necessary to obliterate an archer in a single attack. That seems very silly. Let's use our unique unit to finish the game. Hey, buddy, go. There you go.
Though its face may change throughout the ages, history is written from the hand of the victor. By your actions this day, you ensure our people a glorious tomorrow.
Boy, how are you going to be like, congratulations, you did such a good job. Here's a city full of civilians being completely obliterated. It's a real problem that 4X games have, and it's lessened in non-historical games. But Civ in particular has a real problem where it's trying to portray things that are close enough to reality to be upsetting sometimes with the messages that they show. Like, to treat that, you assured our people our glorious tomorrow because we murdered millions, possibly by the end of the game, there are billions of civilians. It's hard to feel good about that, and if you do feel good about that, you should examine that, because that's a sign that something might be very wrong deep inside of you. But I think that is going to be it for us for today, and for the series. Thank you all so much for watching. I think that Civ 6 is in a really good place mechanically, and I think that was true even after the last expansion. The basic problems of Civ, which have been true for a long time, are still kind of there, in that, like, the design of the tech tree makes your technological decisions quite similar from game to game. It is certainly not the case that a game, like 2 games of Civ, will vary as much as like 2 games of Endless Legend, for example. But there are some interesting small-scale decisions to make. The beginnings of games are actually fairly different from one another now, which was like not the case in Civ 5, where it was almost always correct to do exactly the same things. Thanks to the way that you're encouraged to take different actions to try to get boost to civics and techs. But Civ 6, I think, is a pretty good 4X, but the AI is still so abominably bad at the game that it's really hard to, once you get past the initial learning period, it's really hard to have a lot of fun in single player, because you could just kind of do whatever and still win. If I had more people to play with, if I had more friends who are into 4Xs, I probably would be into Civ a little bit more. But like, a lot of 4Xs have bad AI, but I think Civ's AI is remarkably bad, unusually bad even in the field. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I don't exactly know what's coming up next on the channel, but there's going to be more stuff, of course. Videos every weekday, so come back if you want to see any of that, and we'll see you then.